Well, hello. Welcome to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co-host, Tracy. I'm
Hey
tight right
y'all.
now. I'm tight
He's big mad.
at this application, Riverside, which I have talked up so much to other podcasters, and it's just effing with me right now. So hopefully this records properly and it does what it needs to do. But it is
Right.
the
If y'all are hearing this, it worked out.
But you know how like you're so pissed when you can't get electronics to work the way you want to, and it
Yeah.
takes a while for you to just, and it's taking me a minute. So it's like 2 weeks in a last week I was sick. This week I'm just pissed off. So I'm gonna try and get my this is why I need 2025. I need prayer. I need a lot of things. I need a lot of things. But this is our end of the year kind of like wrap up. We're going to talk about some of our favorite things, some of the things that pissed us off, some of the things that made us happy, some of our favorite movies, movie series, things that we just enjoyed. And hopefully I have that stuff like in front of me. So,
I know
because
I
I've
had
been
to bring
messing
I had to
around with
bring
this.
my little notes. I had to bring my little notes with me.
And what made me suggest that we do this is because last week we were talking about like music, and you were talking about what's her name, SZA.
SZA, yes, my sister.
SZA, and I realized that I there's a lot of music that I don't listen to, and then there's a lot that I have like on repeat. So I'm like, what are my favorite things to listen to, watch, or whatever? The
Yeah.
only thing I had a problem with was movies.
I struggled in that category.
I did.
Struggled, which is crazy because I love movies.
And we
I like
watch
to
so
watch movies.
many. So it's like, I think what it is that when you look at the list of 2024 movies, there's a lot that I missed out on that.
That's
So,
the part. Because if
ex-
it was movies of all time, no problem. It is
mm-hmm.
picking 20 movies that debuted in theaters or on whatever in 2024. That was the struggle for me.
So you want to start?
Why the heck not?
Okay, you
And
go.
you know what? I will start because I only could come up with three, and these are top five lists.
Ooh, yeah, I don't
Okay.
even know if I had three, girl.
And what's crazy is, okay, let me just read them and then let me talk
Hmm.
through it. Okay. Top five movies for Tracy for 2024: The Six Triple Eight, The
Okay,
Beekeeper,
okay.
and Bob Marley One Love. Couldn't come up with two other ones.
Wow. And well, I'm gonna see the Triple Eight is the new
The,
one.
the Six Triple
I
Eight.
just so luckily
Just
that
saw
did.
it last week. So
I
if
know.
that hadn't come
It's
out last week,
2024.
it would be two movies that I liked all year long. So Six Triple Eight. I don't want to spoil anything. Fabulous movie, fantastic casting, fabulous acting, costume, like everything was mwah to me in that movie. There were like a
Mhm,
couple of moments where I was like, yeah, Tyler Perry definitely was involved in this. But
mhm.
I mean, it was really a great film. I liked it. Go see it
Everybody
on
raves about it.
go on your
Everybody raves.
Netflix. Watch it with the family. Watch it with in particular, your younger family members too, because I think it's one of those period films that gives them a little insight into historical accuracy
Hmm.
of the Black experience. That's not a slave movie or a
Yeah.
civil rights movie.
Hmm.
The Beekeeper, that was Jason Statham, a brief acting part by Felicia Rashad. Fabulous movie. Jason Statham, just he's
Was that in
always.
the theater or was it on like one of the streaming channels?
I don't know. I just remember my cousin was like, "You got to watch this movie. You got to watch it."
Hmm.
And you and I had a discussion. We were with some other people, and we were just talking about like scams and how
Hmm.
scams are so pervasive in culture right now. You got to be so on point and on alert. And the movie centers around a scam that just devastates this woman after she's worked her whole career. and she like literally got scammed out of her life savings, and Jason Statham ends up avenging her. It's a really interesting movie. I also don't want to spoil that for anyone who hasn't seen it, but if you like action films, if you like those movies where people get revenge and they
Especially
great
on
movie.
scams.
Exactly, exactly. And then Bob Marley, One Love. Bob
Hmm.
Marley's just, he's just Bob. And honestly, the actor that played him, can't remember his name, fine as hell. So that didn't
He was
hurt.
in he was in Bridgerton, wasn't he? That guy?
No, he wasn't the Bridgerton guy. He was in the guy that was in High Fidelity with Zoe Kravitz. I think he played her boyfriend in that, if I'm not mistaken. He's a British actor. So Reggae John somebody was the Bridgerton guy, also
Hmm.
fine as hell.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
could have done this too. But this was a great story because I grew up knowing about Bob and Rita Marley. Like Rita was always part of the
Yeah.
narrative that I knew growing up. So for people who don't understand that the woman behind Bob Marley, behind some of these songs like No Woman No Cry that
Hmm.
are like just cultural icons. And this woman is the grandmother of Lauryn Hill's grandkids. Like
Yeah.
this woman, she's very important to telling the story
Hmm.
of Bob Marley. So the fact they made it a love story, not just about him,
Hmm.
was really beautiful to me. I loved seeing that. And their vulnerability of the two characters and how she was just a really strong woman in her own right who had her own agenda. She was like, "Oh, you about to cheat on me? Well, guess what? I got something for you."
Hmm.
And she did her thing too. So it was just kind of like, but at the end of the day, it was a love story and it was about them. It was about their family and the music. So I loved it. Oh, I could only do three.
I'm gonna do one confession.
Okay.
And it's probably gonna, you know what, it probably just fits in,
So
but
the new thing in 2024 is we listen and we don't judge. So we're
okay.
going to listen to Shahida
And
and
not
we're going to
judge.
not judge. Go ahead.
I am not a Bob Marley fan
That's okay.
at all. Like any of his music. I will take Shabba Ranks over Bob Marley.
Now, Beyonce has the Beehive. I don't know what the Bob Hive is going to do to you after hearing that, but we trying to listen and
I
not
don't
judge.
even know if it's like because he's so revered in Black culture, even though he's Jamaican. It's Black culture, and if you don't like, it's like saying you don't like Prince. He's up there, you
So,
know.
okay. So while we're making confessions, can I tell
Hmm.
you who I'm not that big of a fan of?
But
Not that I don't respect the talent. I understand the
you
talent.
better not say Beyonce.
Stevie Wonder.
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
He's fucking mid to me. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. I get it. I get why people like him. But what I'm saying is
She said mid. Okay,
some of the songs are mid to me.
okay. I mean, I'm not judging. What's the saying?
We listen and we
And
don't judge.
okay, I'm not judging. That
I I
I don't.
love Bob
I would
Marley.
like people to chime in at the end of this and say which is worse, not being a fan of Bob Marley or saying that, because I feel Bob Marley, if you want to use that term, mid.
That he's mid to you, right? He's
Yeah,
probably mid
very.
to okay. That's how I
So
feel about Steve. I'm
I want to
sorry.
see if like Stevie Wonder. I like because I can't think of. There's not like I don't have a whole list of Stevie Wonder songs that I like, but he is always in rotation. There's
He
always a
is.
few songs that are in rotation for me.
He let me talk, and I can name off songs that people will say they love. Superstition, Isn't She Lovely? Those are very nice songs. Are they to me like bangers? No.
All right, I will move on to the movies because I'm scared for you, sis. I'm scared.
Ribbon in the Sky, I definitely never need to hear again. Never need to hear that song again. But what I do like is what's that song? He and Donnell Jones did it over. That was a great song. Oh my gosh, it'll come to me.
Okay, okay. Okay.
You
I
started it.
I did. I did. I thought that Bob Marley was just as low as you can get, but I think you took it lower. You
Come for
definitely
me. Come for
you
me.
you
Don't care.
definitely dropped a bomb on that one. So I will move on. So for movies, you're good that you came up with three. I can only think of one movie, and I know people are going to be kind of disgusted. Well, it's actually two that I liked that I went to the movies to see because I was thinking more like things that I saw in the actual movie theater.
Hmm.
And the movie, I'm so embarrassed, but the movie that I really loved that I saw in the theater, because I saw a lot of movies in the theater, but I walked out feeling like, "Eh, mm, mm." But Godzilla and King Kong and New
Uh,
Empire, I loved it. When it came out on HBO, I watched it like 9 times. I fucking loved it.
and I'm sure it was great. Like that, my son Elijah would go, and he ran to go see it. That's his jam. Like he got a Godzilla figure for Christmas this year. Again, and he's 23 years old. Like that's his jam. I didn't see it, so I can't
Mhm.
speak on it.
Loved it. I did. Loved it.
I
But
don't
you know
deny.
my genre is that. I mean, I got
I
a
thought you were gonna say like a horror film of some kind.
I'm not huge on horror. And another stupid one that I did like that I saw in the movies. Cause now you think I see a lot because I take my grandson to the movies a lot. And I will say I said last week we went to go see Sonic. Did I say that on the
You
podcast?
did,
And
and
it
you
was
said it was
trash.
not great.
I looked at Sir, I looked at him so hard. Anyway, because it was bad because that I could have like critiqued Mufasa because that's what I wanted to see. And I still haven't seen Wicked. But
Me neither. I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, so I mean of the movie Deadpool, wanted to love it. It
It was aggressive from the beginning, and I didn't even watch it. I just caught like the beginning of it. And I was like, damn, I need to buckle up and sit down and really watch this because a lot is happening in the first scene. So
it
I
was
didn't see it. It was
funny.
for listening.
It was funny, but it wasn't great. I mean, I'm like, you got Wolverine in there. The storyline could have been better. It just wasn't great to me. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And then what else
Yeah.
did I see? I saw another one. Oh, I saw Inside Out too.
Hmm.
Didn't love it. And I love some animation, but didn't love it. What was Ghostbusters? The Frozen New York. I actually like that one.
Okay, so that's two.
Yeah, that's two that I like. But look at the ones that I named off. Oh, you know what I did love? The new Salem's Lot. That wasn't in the
Oh, you
theater,
mentioned it.
but that was on HBO, and I thought that was really good. I love that. Um, that was it. That was
So
it.
I did. I could not wait for Beetlejuice to come out. I went inside. It didn't make my list, even though I had two empty spots. It
It's
it wouldn't have broken my
that's
top five.
that's what I feel like there were, and I was saying this to someone not too long ago. Before COVID, the Christmas season was always a banger for good movies.
We
Like you
would
think
go to the movies on Christmas Day.
exactly, exactly. And even though there is one out about an African American woman who is a boxer and she a
Yes.
fighter, it does look good. But I'm like, ugh, do I want to go see? I probably will just to support, but usually there's more than just one that you're like kind of like just lined up in your head to see, and I really haven't been like that. Even the summer blockbusters are not big blockbusters like they used to be. After
So
the Avengers went, it's like, ugh.
so definitely COVID has affected the movie industry. So the movie you're talking about is Fire Inside. It's about Clarissa T. Rex
Hmm.
Shields. So, and I'm gonna tell you the only reason I'm even vaguely interested in going to see this movie because I'm not that big of a like fan of boxing. I don't like blood sports
Hmm.
because this woman is allegedly the other woman in Remy Ma and Papooses relationship.
Uh-huh.
So supposedly Papoose is cheating with this woman, Remy called her on the phone, or they got on the phone and they were talking back and forth. And Remy was like, yeah, let her come for me. I'm like, well, this woman is a professional boxer. You
Yeah, I
don't
don't
think
think
she'll
you
tear
want
your
this.
behind up? So now, because of the tea and the gossip, I'm kind of like, I never even heard of her
No, me
until
either. Me either until I
until
saw the commercial.
the rumors. I
Oh,
heard about the
until that. Yeah, I
rumors
didn't know
first.
anything about anything like that. I didn't know anything about that. Wow, that's crazy. But that always
But how
makes good tea.
my mind works is because I believe Hollywood is evil.
Hmm.
I'm like, is this publicity? Is this publicity? Because I never heard of this woman in my life.
When did you hear about the rumor? I mean, when did you hear about the affair and all that?
Literally like 2, 3 weeks before the movie came out. I was like, I feel
Okay.
like this is publicists doing what publicists do.
Could be.
And Remy Ma and Papoose are probably like in bed, happy, laughing about it.
And then the crazy thing is, I don't know who the hell Papoose is. He sound like, is he a rapper too?
He is a rapper. So their
I
whole
know
back
who Remy Ma is. But like, who's
they,
this dude?
their whole backstory is Remy Ma went to prison for like some years. She
Hmm. I
she did a
remember.
she did a quote unquote bid, and he did the bid with her. He was,
Hmm.
they had like this black ghetto love story. Like
Hmm.
he rode for her. He did her prison time with her. She came home. They had a reality show. They had a new baby after she got out of prison, and they were like the darlings of the black rap community under like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, Jay-Z and Beyonce aside, because she's not a rapper, but like these two rappers got together, had this gorgeous little baby. And they looked so happy, and they had a
Hmm.
reality show as well. And it looked like he was just that guy that women were like, oh my gosh, look at how this man was a ride or die for her. Now things are starting to come apart at the seams with these rumors, and now that like the fairy tale is starting to fall apart. But I'm telling you, I get an inkling that maybe they needed some cash, and this is a payoff. Like this is a
Hmm.
thing, a fake rumor. So I feel like that's what it is.
It could
I hope,
be.
I hope, I hope that's what it is.
It could be. Yeah. I now that when you talk more about like their relationship, now I do remember her being in jail and he's supposed to be her ride or die. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
So
can
movie
name a Papoose song
could
if if
not.
if if a gun was to my head. Don't
Okay,
know none of
glad I'm
his.
not the only one, but I do remember him.
Yeah.
Now, when you start talking about series like
Yes.
TV
Let's
or
do that.
even like Netflix series or Prime series, there was way more to choose from. Like there was some great series in
Yeah.
2024. So go ahead, you start.
So let me start by saying
I'm gonna have more than five.
I had more than five, but I was like, okay, if you had to, like, I really, really tried to drill down, and there was some I just had to take off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just run through my list. Saturday Night Live, always in my heart. Like, it was started in 1975 by Lauren Michaels. Like, I was born that year. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this affinity to Saturday Night Live. And I've watched it throughout the years, probably since I was like 6 or 7 years old. I
Mm-hmm.
started watching the show very early. Like I remember the Eddie Murphy days, and
Mm-hmm.
before you could DVR the show, before you could we even had a VCR to record it, and you had to watch it in the moment. So I'd be
Mm-hmm.
up like tired as hell because it goes off at 1:30 in the morning. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it goes off at 1 a.m. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd be up watching the show. So that show informed a lot of my personality, and I
Mm-hmm.
still watch it to this day. So Saturday Night Live, Abbott Elementary. I feel like it's just getting better. I
Better.
love the character development. I love the predominantly black cast and the
Mm-hmm.
supporting characters. I feel like they all just have their own like really great personality. I just big up Quinta Brunson for
Mm-hmm.
this phenomenal show, and also giving the opportunity to the actor that used to be Chris Rock. Everybody hates Chris. Like giving
Oh
him
yeah.
a role to break him out of that typecasting of
Mm-hmm.
that Chris character, because he could have been stuck in that rut. It could have been an Urkel thing with him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not, because he gets to be a whole new character in
Yeah.
Gregory.
Yeah.
um I love Ava's character as the principal. Like
Mm-hmm.
I like she's just one of, it's just a great show. um FX's Aaron Hernandez, American
Yeah,
Sports
that was
Story.
good.
Let me tell you, oh my, ugh, ugh,
It
that
was
was
good.
my
Didn't
shit.
we
I
didn't
watched
we
all of it.
read a book on Aaron Hernandez for the book club?
We did. We read a book on him. And so in addition to this FX series, there was also like a maybe a 2 or 3 part documentary. I've like the way people are with the Menendez brothers, who I could care less about. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
watched any of their stuff.
Me either.
That's how I am with Aaron Hernandez. He played for the Patriots. He's a problematic, fine ass man. Oh my God, he was a good looking man. I
Those
kind of am
dimples?
mad. I'm mad at the guy they had to play his character because he was
Yeah.
not. They
He
should
was
have got a better looking guy.
yeah.
They
Mm,
should have got a better looking guy. And I know he's problematic. I know he did some terrible things, but I can't get enough of the Aaron Hernandez true crime. I will if they
mm-hmm.
put out more stuff, I'll keep watching it. So
Mm-hmm.
that was 3. And then Hacks. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And it didn't come out this year, but it did air. A new season aired this year.
Mm-hmm.
Jean Smart and the young woman who plays Hannah in the show, like just to see women leading a cast, an
Mm-hmm.
older woman doing her thing and
I
being
love her.
funny as how like Jean Smart freaking crushed that role.
She did.
She did so well in that role. And it showed like the juxtaposition of the older generation and the younger generation and the culture clash, but how you can find some common ground and
Yeah.
still have disagreements and still not get it right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you know Hannah
Phenomenal.
is Lorraine Newman from Saturday Night
Her
Live's
daughter.
daughter.
Her daughter. So the fact that she did this show that involved comedy writing,
And she's really good.
phenomenal.
I
She's
saw her stand up. She's actually pretty funny.
and I resisted watching Hacks for a while because I kept seeing it come up on my
Yeah.
HBO. I'm like, oh my God, this doesn't look like anything that would interest me. Hooked from episode 1, and I binge watched the whole thing through the
Mm-hmm.
end. I hope maybe there'll be a new season, and it
Yeah.
won several like awards this
It
year
did. She won a
for the
lot.
show.
Mm-hmm. And
So
well
this
deserved.
right, and to see a woman, because women don't get there just doing comedy, still don't get it to this day. To see her like personify someone who's like, I know my worth as a comic, and I know, and just trying to be in the old boys network because that's
Mm-hmm.
still how it is in the comedy world. Like female comics just don't get there just due. Like I just really, I enjoyed that series so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, you saw this Fight Night with
That's
Kevin
on my
Hart
list, and I'm gonna
and
take it off
Taraji.
since you put it on your list. I'm gonna take it off.
Phenomenal,
It was
phenomenal.
absolutely phenomenal. I have so much more respect to see the growth in Kevin Hart, and I think, and you look on Peacock, he pretty much so owns Peacock. It's so much Kevin Hart stuff on Peacock. It's insane, but you have to watch it, and you definitely see the growth in that man, and he did an excellent. The whole cast.
It was
Tarantino, you
Terrence
can never go
Howard,
wrong with him. Terrence Howard
Terrence
was
Howard,
top notch.
Samuel L. Jackson,
Taraji,
Taraji, like,
it
even
was
the
excellent.
actors I didn't know did a phenomenal job. And
It was really good. I was really impressed. I know it's based loosely on a real story because they
yeah,
added a lot in there, but they
yeah.
did it with the stuff that they added in was not over the top. It enhanced the story more. Like if you're telling a story and it's on A level and you just hike it up to G, that's fine if it follows a good storyline. He did an excellent job. I was really proud of it.
And we took a road trip to Augusta, Georgia in the
Mhm.
80s. And
Mhm.
the houses, the cars, everything just brought me back to
Mhm.
that visit I took. And I was a kid, I was really
Mhm.
little, but it just felt the same. Like they captured the time and the era, the costumes, the wardrobe.
Mhm.
They had Lola Falana in there. I was like, this is a great show. It
It
was
was
really
good.
good.
I loved it.
Hmm.
That was it. So
That's it. That's
I'm gonna
5.
take that one off. So
That was 5. Hmm.
my I had Fight Night, but I'm taking it off, and I'm gonna go with Supercell. as my first because I
That was good.
absolutely love that. That was on Netflix, and to see Black superheroes, well, we don't even know what they're going to be. They're just
The mutants.
discovering their power at this time, and of course, it goes back to I love anything British,
Yes.
any show British, and I really enjoyed that. Um, so then I went with my other big favorite one, how you love Hacks,
Hmm.
is Shrinking. That
I didn't see
show.
that
Oh, you
one.
haven't seen Shrinking? You gotta watch it. It's on Apple TV. It is what Jason Segel's in it, Jessica Williams is in it, and her
Oh.
character specifically is like my absolute favorite. Harrison Ford is in it. That and then they just ended like the second season. It just came up. I just watched it last week. And when I say it's like Ted Lasso, like every episode you laugh out loud. It's hilarious. You laugh out loud. Then there's a very touching moment, and then there's
Mhm.
the ending where you just feel so good afterwards, and then they had like I said, the last episode for season 2 just aired last week, and it was just perfection. Loved
I
it.
don't have Apple TV. Okay, somebody jump in our DMs and give me your login so
Oh,
I can watch.
how you can get it, because I'm using somebody else's, so I can't help you on that.
That's what I'm saying. That's let's
But you know
each
what?
one
You can always get
a free trial.
yeah, because I think I have like you know what? I might have a free trial that I can give you.
Okay,
I,
good.
I
Because
think I do.
that's the only reason I'm not watching stuff that's strictly on Apple TV.
Hmm.
Because I used to watch Severance, which I
It's coming
love.
back. It's
Oh,
coming
so you know
back.
what? Then I'll pay. I will pay
I,
to
I
watch
I think
Severance.
it's coming back because I'm using somebody else's on my TVs, but on my phone I have a free trial for 3 months. I don't know how that worked out, but anyways, but I can give it to you. And then the
Okay,
other thing that I really like, what was that? That was three. Did you
Supercell,
Supercell,
Shrinking.
Shrinking? Oh, Penguin on HBO.
Oh, that
Loved it.
was good.
It was.
That was
Did you
good.
see that last episode?
I did not. I didn't
You
finish
have to
it.
watch the very last episode because throughout the whole series, you're like, oh, he's a bad guy, but then,
I
I
kind of
like
liked
him a little bit.
him.
Uh, But when you get to that last episode, it defines whoever wrote it, they did an absolutely phenomenal job. It
First of
was
all, Colin
excellent.
Farrell. Let's talk about the transformation.
Every week I watched it, I tried to see some of Colin Farrell, like in the eyes, something. No detection.
Gone.
No detection whatsoever.
Gone.
The makeup was superb. The character was superb. And I forget what his young sidekick's name is, the young
So
Hispanic
cute with the
boy.
afro, yeah.
God, loved him. It was a really great story.
The
You have to
the
watch it.
the villain, the daughter, like the prison scenes. Ooh, doggy.
And then
That was good.
even with her, it's like she's a villain, but I understand why she's
But
a
you under
villain.
her
And
origin
then it
story.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, you want to fight for her too. And then you don't know who's the worst between the two, but you
It
figure it
didn't make my list because, oh, and yeah, she did some grimy stuff. It didn't make my list because I didn't finish it.
out.
That's the
Hmm.
only reason it didn't make my list. And what was crazy is when I was going through my movie list and my TV list, I was like, oh, what about this? What about this?
I know
All
there was a
stuff that came out
lot.
last year. Came out
Yo,
last year.
okay. I did pretty much so stick for 2024 for everything.
Yeah.
So except for no, I do have some honorable mentions, but one that I
Mm.
like because I love Korean romantic story. And so I watched this one, Love Next Door, and it was like I think it was like what, maybe 16 episodes, and I hate the ones that are like 16 episodes because they get repetitive like around
Yeah.
episode 11. But it was really sweet and good and funny, and it was just one of those feel good, and they're always going to give a good story, whether it's a thriller, but they really love like that supernatural, and then they love the romance. They have very good stories. And the other one I loved, another Apple, that who's in it? It's disclaimer. That
Mm. I don't know
was
that one.
good.
Okay,
It's
Apple, you need to sponsor the show, okay? Because we're really sending a lot of business your way. A lot of business.
it is really good. So it's about Kevin Kline is in it and Kate
I ain't seen
Blanchett.
him in years. My
Yeah,
God.
he was really good in it. Kate Blanchett is in it, and his wife wrote a book about his son's death. That's all I really can say because you can't give away anything. But those last two episodes, when you just find out like the truth about so much, it is so good. It was a good series.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's a
We just
book.
so you just said that. We just watched a series. So
Hmm.
in that's the thing, it's like the TV ones, it was too many. So we just finished watching No Good Deeds on Netflix.
Okay,
Did you finish it? Did you
I
watch it?
I did not start it.
Watch it.
Okay,
Watch it. Phenomenal. So that
it's
I
on.
just
It's in queue, but this,
it's
like you
so
said, it's so much.
first of all, Ray Romano, the,
He's in
he's an
the.
actor who is
Oh no, I did
consistent.
start that one. I'm thinking of the one with Nicole Kidman,
No,
the perfect wife or
all of the
husband or
Nicole,
whatever.
like, first of all, I took Nicole out of it because Nicole was in too many bangers this
She
year.
was. She
She
was.
was in too many bangers this year.
Hmm.
But Ray Romano, he's the
Yeah,
most
you're right.
consistent actor who still has range. Like, how do you talk the same in every movie, you play the same character in every movie, but you still have range? That
And it was Phoebe, not Phoebe. That's not her name.
yeah,
Who
Lisa Kudrow,
Lisa
Lisa Kudrow.
Kudrow is was in it. Okay, I did start. I think I'm on like on episode three. I
It's
think
a
I'm on
dark
episode
comedy.
three. It is, and
It's
it's good.
it's and Dennis Leary, hello,
He's
like where has
always
he been?
he's always the bad guy,
Oh my God,
and
so
he's a
good, so
good
good.
bad guy. I love him.
But he doesn't. They don't. They were like six. They were like number six on the list. But also rap shit on HBO, phenomenal.
Was that? But that was 2023, and then they didn't renew it.
I thought they had a new season out this year.
Only two seasons,
Okay, so rap. Okay, we'll scratch rap shit, and then the other
but it was
one
so
was
good. Watch it anyway. I
there was
really was looking
another
forward to
one.
it.
Oh my gosh, it'll come to me. But
Hmm.
anyway, I've watched a lot of great series. I almost
Hmm.
started to say Carmichael, but I'm like he really played in his father's face a lot. So I'm like I don't know.
Which one?
Carmichael, the Carmichaels, the Gerard Carmichael's doc on Max.
Oh, but no, I'm not gonna. Okay, I did go. I told you I went to go see him when he was in at the Comedy Connection,
Yeah,
and I wanted to see how he was gonna come back after that doc because that doc was ugh,
it
and
was
it made
rough.
me wonder like what kind of person are you? But his new comedy, and he said he was just kind of like testing that out. I loved it. I
And
loved
it's
it.
it's that one man show style thing, like what Jamie Foxx did. It's like
Hmm.
it's more autobiographical
Hmm.
comedy. And I get it, but I was like, I couldn't put him in my top five. It was probably my top 10 just because he was so raw and some
I did like it, and I
we
was
need
tuned in
more of
every
that.
week.
We need more of that in black
Hmm.
families. I'm gonna be honest. We need more of that in families, period, where you
Hmm.
tell people like you hurt me in this way, but
Hmm.
he kind of he took it a little.
I felt
Ooh,
like,
okay.
and I feel like that's always a discussion, especially when somebody's coming out as gay.
Yeah.
And I get you have to say certain things, but then a lot of it, especially with him, it was like I'm gonna shove this down your throat
Shock value. He was going for
because
shock value.
I'm gonna shove this down your throat because I'm paying these bills.
Yeah, he did weaponize that
He
money,
did.
but they didn't say take your money
They
and
did not.
stop sending it.
They did
But
not.
he just his parents just looked so defeated.
Hmm.
I was just like, so there's probably better ways you could go about this, but
And then I think towards the end, you saw that they were trying to mend because the thing is, and that is one good thing that I did like about his parents because they could have been better with his decisions. But also he just went buck wild for a minute too, like with the relationships and just hooking up with
but
guys.
he
It was
was
like
also being a bad person. So you mad
he
at your parents
was.
because you feel like they're being bad people. You are not the best person, sir.
He was being obnoxious. But it's your children make decisions and you may not agree with the decisions, and it might be because of religious reasons or whatever, but that's still your child. Are you going to turn your back? And they couldn't do that. So
Yeah, they
that I
didn't.
did. But some parents will be like,
Yeah,
I
they
this
will.
I'm not having, you're not my child no more. I don't care how much money you got, get the F away from me. But
Yeah,
they were trying, but I think he was really shoving it down their throat. But it was a good series.
yeah, it
So
was. That
another
was good.
one that I did like, and I'm not sure if it was 2024, and I'm glad that you saw it too, was that September Morning. I love that. It was Brazilian.
Yes,
Well,
that
it
was.
is
I think it was
Brazilian.
before because
It
I
was
felt like
before,
I watched it
because it
during the
only started
pandemic.
is it that is it
I
that
watched
old?
it a
Well,
while ago.
then I won't well, I just saw it on just started popping up on my net Amazon, and it was about a man transitioning, or he had already transitioned and found out he has a 10-year-old son, and he was an asshole.
Yeah,
It was a real, but and what was just it was like 2 seasons, and it was just very heartwarming just to see the growth, and then for him and his son to get where they did in the very end, it was really good. So I really
yeah.
enjoyed that. So that was it for me for like TV shows, for TV series. I could have
Yeah.
went on and on too.
My if is so I guess I'm doing top 10.
Okay, go ahead.
Get Millie Black on HBO Max.
Get
Phenomenal.
Millie Black.
Yes. It's set between Jamaica and London,
Oh, okay. I have that in queue.
England.
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't
you'll
watched it
need
yet.
you gonna need them subtitles. I did.
Girl, I use subtitles for English shows.
For English, right? But so it's like between the Jamaican patois and just I guess my bad ears. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
please, I gotta read what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, I love a good plot twist because
Mm-hmm. Oh.
the whole time I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I know what's gonna happen next. I know, and usually I'm pretty good at figuring
Mm-hmm.
out what's gonna happen. I couldn't even like, and then every episode the narrator changed to a different character.
Okay. Okay.
So just watch it.
Different point and that's how I felt like with Disclaimer, because I felt like I knew the story, and that's the same as you. I mean, we read a lot, we watch a lot of TV, we watch a
Mhm.
lot of movies. There's not often you get surprised by an ending. You usually I always go from the beginning of a movie and be like, I know who killed who. And when I am surprised, I'm like, that's a good damn film. And that's how I felt
Mm.
with Disclaimer, is like, up until the very end, it was good, but then the ending was just like blew my mind.
So No Good Deed,
Mm-hmm.
I, I keep like thinking I know who done it, and then I don't know who done it, and then I forget how many episodes this was, like maybe 2 episodes before
Mm-hmm.
the last one. I was like, yeah, I know who did it, and I was half right.
Ooh, half right. Okay.
Just watch it. Just watch
Okay.
it. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Big up Ray Romano and
And I
Phoebe.
was like the episodes that I have seen, Lisa Kudrow, that's a good part for her. I was a
Great role
little,
for her.
yeah, because I haven't seen her in anything. I remember she had that HBO special like maybe 5, 10 years ago, that series, but I can't think of but that was it. That was the only last thing I seen her in.
And then Wilson, not Owen Wilson, his brother.
Luke.
He's in Luke Wilson
Hmm.
is in it as well.
Okay, all right. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish it because I already did. I'm like three
Yeah.
episodes in, but again, it's like so many damn series on or whatever, and I'm just kind of like watching everything. But I think and what I'm trying to do now is when I watch a series is leave my phone in
Put
another
it down.
room. No, not
Yeah.
put it down. Leave it in a total other room, or let Autumn just go for it, because it's so hard. I don't know. It's horrible that we're conditioned to, like, when we're at home, to still be on the phone and then say we're watching something. Because
Yeah.
have you started what's the new one that just came out? The Korean one. Oh
Oh,
my,
Squid Games.
did you start it?
No, so what I did was last night I watched the last episode of one because it's been so daggone long, I forgot what happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
but I just
sometimes you
wanted
have
to
to go back.
remember how it ended.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh my gosh, just watching it again, I was like, this was so brutal.
Mhm.
But I did watch it, and so my plan is to start the season 2 this week.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I did episode 1, but I was not paying attention. Like again, I had my phone. I was like half playing the game, and it's subtitled. I'm not. I don't even have it dubbed. So how am I trying to watch a subtitled show
Wait, are you not
on my
listening
phone?
to it in you're not listening to it in
I
English?
never do. I
Yeah,
never. I
I
hate
put it on
dubs.
English and
Yeah.
English subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I always have the subtitled in the actual language.
My eyes start hurting after a while because I at least I can hear, like I can take my eyes can take a break and I can hear. But
Mhm.
if I have to watch and read, girl, my eyes
I'm
start hurting.
I think I've been doing it for so many years. It's like I'm like totally trained in it because people like, well, don't you miss stuff? And I feel like I don't miss actual, scenes or anything. But yeah, I just can't. It's the dub. I can't listen, and they need to fix that. Do it
Yeah.
better. Do it better.
Yeah.
So I do want to see that. All right. So series. What's next? My corny ass music list, because child.
Do you want to end with music or because we got some other stuff in here that we might want to sandwich in between. I know we can do music. We can do
It's gonna be
music.
quick for me.
All right, so for music, and I'm going directly off my Spotify
Me
playlist
too.
because what is on my Spotify playlist is not what I thought was my top 5 songs.
Oh, really?
Because I just knew SZA because I'm like a top SZA listener or whatever on
Mhm.
Spotify, and I listen to her so much. But apparently, I listen to my husband's album more than I listen to SZA. So I think that makes me a good wife
Oh,
because
well, hell yeah.
my top 5 most listened songs, 4 of his songs are on my top 5, and the last song
Mhm.
is is by Burner Boy. So here's my top 5. Welcome to the 50. This is off the 50 side album. These first
Okay.
4. Back at It, Out of Time, and Gang Gang. These are all on the 50 side album. You can search them on Spotify, 50 side music. If you like rap music, if you like, hearing about urban environment in, back in the day and current present day and whatever. My husband has a great group, and apparently I'm a groupie because I listen to their songs
Girl, send
constantly.
it. I want to hear it. I'm like, I knew
But
he did music, but come on, I didn't
yeah,
know it was like that. So you need to send it.
yep. So they have the album's been out for a little while. It debuted this year, and then Simmer by Burna Boy and Mahalia. Apparently, I listen to that quite a bit too. So those are my top 5.
I don't even want to read mine because I don't even know how this list. Okay.
Now we got to hear them.
So I'm just not even gonna. I'm not even gonna say. So this this is my first one.
Why? Go ahead. We listen. We
That
don't judge.
that definitely is me because I like something hype, right? I don't even know the name of this one.
Okay, so who sings it?
Um, Keto M, Yuffie, SNE.
And some listener out there, please translate what Shahida just said for me, because I don't know. I do not know these people. That's okay though. That's what you listen to.
I think this is everybody's top 10.
I can't hear it.
You
Oh,
didn't hear?
Kendrick.
Oh,
They not like
okay.
us. They not like us.
And this one, do you know her?
I'm having trouble hearing it.
Let's see. No, you can this. Go. And I know that. I just found her on TikTok.
Okay, but you know what? At least you're not conditioned by the entertainment industry to listen to the top 40 or whatever. What do they call it? I
This
don't
is the
know.
fifth one. I'll tell you why I like this song.
You have to tell us what these songs are, girl, because I can't hear
Can you
nothing.
hear it? This
No.
is You Ready from Migos. And
Okay.
you know why that's in my
That
top?
came out this year?
I don't know when it came out, but
Shahida.
no, no, listen. This is why it is in my top 5. During basketball season, whenever the Celtics win, this is what I
Mm,
usually play.
okay.
So that was like,
So those are the
it's
song
very
top
random.
your top songs you listened to this year, basically.
Hmm.
Okay. That's
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
she
and
is
then
like Way Ani, WE, and then ANI. I don't know. I found her on Netflix. The song is called The Standard. I freaking love it. I killed it.
you gave us some new stuff to research and play. I
Hmm.
also like Doechii. I'm really liking her sound and her aesthetic.
Hmm.
So she didn't crack my top 5, but she's definitely my top 10. I just really like her style. And of course, anything SZA. Kendrick, I've been like really jamming to his GNA album.
I love that.
Is it GNA? GNX? I forget his new album.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else I really listened to a lot this year. I listened to a lot of different kinds of music, but
Hmm.
like new songs that came out this year, Glorilla. I'm surprised that Glorilla wasn't in my top because like I've really enjoyed almost everything she's put out this year.
Hmm.
She's been really good. And then the song that Megan Thee Stallion had with the Japanese guy, I don't know the title of it. I don't know the
Oh,
title of half these
I don't
songs.
think I've heard it. I mean, I probably
But
did and did
it's
it.
my ringtone. So if you've ever been with me and my ringtone startled the crap out of you, it's because it's like, I'm a star, star, star. I love it. It's good.
No,
I'll let
so
you listen to it next time. But that was it for me for music.
all right. So yeah, I knew that would be quick for me because I knew I don't have a great music taste. I'm just
No, you like what you like.
it is. I'm
That's
surprised
okay.
more like 70s or 80s wasn't in there because that's usually my playlist.
Yeah.
I was surprised. But it has been a crazy year. Your top 5 crazy-ish things that happen in the news, worldwide, or just period. What you got?
Top 5 crazy things that happened in the news. I'm gonna say this and I'm not even gonna expound on it because
Okay.
y'all already know what it is. The whole election,
Okay, then you know that was number 1 for me.
everything about it,
Hmm.
from Joe Biden dropping out to the whole everything that happened after that to the election results. I'm gonna leave that where it is. The next thing is probably gonna be the arrest of Diddy in conjunction with the video of what he did to Cassie. I can't even remember if that happened this year or last
No,
year.
it was this year.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
that was my number 2 as well.
So the takedown of Diddy and the subsequent involvement, potential alleged involvement of Jay-Z, that's all wrapped in one.
Yeah, that didn't make it on mine because I'm still
Um,
waiting.
Crazy. Also, the shooting of the United Health CEO by Luigi Mangione.
Hmm.
What else was crazy that happened this year? So many crazy things happened this year, and we are now so conditioned to like take it in, forget it. Take it in, forget it. Because it was like stuff that was going on just last week. First of all, this is not even national news. This is just local news. But the whole, and people our age who are black, who grew up in Boston will understand this. The whole Slade's video drama, which
Oh,
actually
that didn't make my list.
made the news.
It
And
did
it
make the
definitely,
news.
it did make the news. It made the media. Well, actually, I don't know if it made television media. It made radio for sure. And it definitely made the rounds on social media. If you know, you know, there's a video from Slade's that happened at a holiday party. It was the talk of the town just 2 weeks ago.
I mean, for those who don't know, give them. You got to give them more than that. Can't leave them hanging totally.
So apparently, a holiday party was held at Slade's, which is a local. I'll call it a haunt,
Mhm.
for lack of a better word. But it's
It's a good bar
a
with some
bar.
good fried chicken.
It's a
The
bar.
best.
They're known for their fried chicken
Hmm.
actually, and it's changed ownership over the years, but it's kind of a staple in the community on Tremont Street in Boston. And so apparently some folks rented out rented it out for a holiday party. The group was an LGBTQ plus positive promoter. They hired entertainment, and the entertainment proceeded to entertain in some ways that may be unconventional to people who are not familiar with that type of entertainment. So, long story short,
There was a glow stick
there was a glow
shoved up
stick.
somebody's butthole
Yes, and there's video of
in
it.
a bar.
I saw the video.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
sent the video
definitely
to me.
shocking. It was shocking. I saw a video. I should preface it by saying I believe there are multiple videos. I saw one of the videos,
Hmm.
and I again, I listen and I don't judge if people are not being hurt. I try not to judge too much, and honestly, I think it kind of got a little bit blown out of proportion. It was shocking. It definitely was. But like I said, listen, I don't know what goes on. And the people who were observing the entertainment seemed to be at ease with it.
Hmm.
So they seemed fine. Money was flying. Dollar bills were being distributed to the entertainers for entertaining. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Um,
that was definitely that shook things up a little bit here last month. That was this month. Dang, a lot of stuff happened this
yeah.
this year. Um
Yeah.
and
Towards the end of the year, that's usually when stuff really starts to pop off too.
do I have a fifth thing? Uh I don't know. I forgot so much stuff has happened. I
Yeah.
don't even know if I have a fifth thing.
So my first two were of course, the election and Diddy. But my third one was the Stanley Cup stuff.
What stuff? You have to tell me because I really don't know.
Just people in stores going crazy over these Stanley Cups. And 8-year-olds going crazy over these. Like, that's the status
Was
for like,
a replica of the
no,
Stanley Cup?
no, no, the drinking cups, the mugs.
Oh, so when you
I know
said
you were
Stanley
thinking
Cup,
hockey.
I was thinking hockey. I'm like, girl, I don't watch hockey. I don't know what them people are doing.
You like,
Oh yeah, the
did they
Stanley
piss
Cups
in
have
the
been
Stanley Cup? What happened?
very
That's
popular.
I just thought that that was just, to me, just
They're
watching
so
people going
expensive.
into the store, but they're like $40. They're like $40,
That's
40,
a lot of money
$50
for a
for
cup.
for a cup. I agree. But the thing I think that disturbed me the most was how young people, like I said, 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds were just obsessed that they had to have these cups and people taking videos of them, tricking their kids in not getting them, or when they do get them and they're so emotional and they're crying.
You can thank TikTok for that because that's the only so it went viral. The Stanley Cups went viral because someone's car had a car fire. This is what I know to be the triggering moment of the
Okay.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
So
I didn't know what the triggering thing was.
someone's car was in an auto accident. The car got engulfed in flames. Apparently, the only thing that survived this car fire, other than people, thankfully, I don't think anyone was injured in it,
Yeah.
the cup remained intact.
Hmm.
And that was the thing, supposedly, that stimulated this craze for the Stanley Cups is that they're durable, they're sturdy, they can survive,
But I thought it was like she lost it, and then the Stanley Cup people sent her like these Stanley Cups for life or something like that.
because
That's
of the
what this.
fight. So, because of the publicity they got from that cup, the video she said, and look, my Stanley Cup is still intact, was something like that. There's a
Mhm.
video out there, and it was the best marketing they couldn't have paid for marketing that
Did they
good.
buy her a car too?
That I don't even know. I'm sure they did a lot of stuff for
It
her.
doesn't. It doesn't
Um,
equate to what people did. Like, I mean, there were fights in Target when they like
but things
did
go viral.
like
They
a
go
limited.
viral.
I
Yeah,
understand, and
yeah.
and I think that's what perturbed me more is just seeing how we are so driven by these things, whereas we're fighting people in the stores and you have to have it, and it's like there's so much going on in the world, and that was like priority for so many people.
So what I will say is they also sparked a whole new industry. Like, what's kind of interesting to watch, and I'm sure there'll be a documentary about it soon
Hmm.
on Netflix before we know it. The accessories for this Stanley Cup have like blown up. There's
Hmm.
so many accessories. There's like a special ice mold. There's a little, you can buy the caps that go over the top of it. But I have a PSA for people who are Stanley Cup owners. And I am proud to say I have two Stanley Cups and I didn't even have to pay for them. I
Hmm.
got them free from work.
Hmm.
But wash your damn straw.
Uh,
Buy the little thing, the brush,
yeah. But don't
and
they
wash
come with
your
the
straw.
in the cups? They come with the brush.
And
Mia has two,
if
so
they
there's
do,
some in the house.
ours didn't come with brushes,
I think
but
hers came with brushes. If
wash
they didn't, she brought the brushes.
your straw and wash the inside of your Stanley Cup because some of y'all straws are nasty. Okay. They
Mm.
got stuff growing inside of them, building up. Just please invest a little extra
I can see
$5 on
people not
Amazon.
washing out the straws. I can see that.
Don't
I've always washed out.
and by wash it out, I don't mean run water and
Mm-mm.
hold the straw
Use
under
the
it. I
little
mean
sticky
the
thing,
same way you wash a baby bottle. You get the
mm,
little brush and you got to go on the
little skinny
inside
thing,
in all the corners.
and then they have
Wash your
some
straw.
that curve, and then they have the straight one. So
Hmm.
yeah. So that was one of the things that to me
That's yeah.
it was just wild and just I think like I said it was more so seeing little children obsessed over it, and it's like we are just creating another generation where they're going to be they go to school, and if they don't have a Stanley Cup, or if they don't have this particular, and we all had that. I mean, for me in my day it was a bomber jacket or some Jordache
Sneakers.
jeans or Glory of the End of it. Maybe for the guys it was a thing, but like we had like the old school Nikes, yeah, but you still had to have Nikes. That was it. So I get it. You're never going to not have that thing. But I think the filming it, and then, just having children like just really despondent because they don't have it, and then seeing it on camera, it was depressing. It's just like, where are we going? Where are we going, people? So,
And it is a nice cup, but if I'm being honest,
mhm,
because we always get mugs from work. That's like their
mhm,
thing. They always give us cups and mugs, which I appreciate. Thank you, Trinet.
mhm,
Um, I've gotten other ones that are just as good,
mhm,
if
mhm,
not better.
mhm.
So, Stanley is nice. They're a good brand. If you want to sponsor the show, come through. Give me a Shahida. I own
Yes.
Stanley's. But like I said, I got two. I didn't pay for them, so I do use them. But I was never like pressed to go get one
No,
ever.
no, no. And me, I mean, and that's another thing. I mean, I'm obsessive too, but I just don't spend a lot of money on it. I always like a new water bottle. I always
I will
like a new
spend
water
money,
bottle.
and I'm not a cheap person. Like I will, I don't mind spending, but I'm not splurging on no daggone travel mug.
Mm-mm. No, not no
That's not
$45. 45, fifty
no.
dollars for a mug. I'm not doing it. It
That
gotta
is
have some more features.
right.
Something. It gotta do something more for me than just
Yeah,
hold my water. And
that part.
having it be cold for a couple of hours, that's not good enough. Not good enough.
Yeah.
So that was one, that was my third one. And then another crazy thing for me was, I said the election, Kamala. Oh, Elon Musk. And I know that kind of ties in to the whole election, but to me, watching Elon Musk, a white foreigner who was illegal at one point, be the darling of the Republican Party, the poor ones, the poor Republican parties, has was just astounding to me that we will change history as it's happening just so that it could fit the narrative that we want it to. They don't they're scream all day about illegal immigrants or whatever, but Elon and Melania or whatever it's okay because they're white, and it was just never more obvious. So I think the biggest thing, and I won't just say Elon Musk, it was seeing the hypocrisy, the absolute hypocrisy, live and full 3D from a certain group of people was
Yeah.
wild.
His trajectory
Wild.
is crazy. It's very crazy. No, so why aren't you a darling in your own country? Why are you coming over here?
And then also, again, how we change history. This man has created nothing. And then we, the American press, because that's my fifth one, because I'm astounded by them, but the American press made this man out to be a genius. A genius, why? What did he
Mhm.
create? What did he do other than put his money behind other people's ideas? He never created anything.
And I'm not saying he's a deadbeat, but he's a serial baby daddy. I'm like, when did that become cute?
Well, you know why he's a serial baby daddy? Because he feels like the white population is losing out in the United States or across the world. So it's his idea. And his mama said it too, to increase the white population by having as many kids as he can.
Well, Nick Cannon's keeping up with him, so I guess.
And
I don't know.
his is mixed, so we don't know. But yeah, that one. And then also to me, watching the people that you thought would be the keepers of the justice, or that would, that would help protect the country, just seeing like ABC giving in to Trump when Trump was suing them because he said that they favored Kamala over him during the debate. And you give this man $15 million for
Mess.
you doing your job. You doing
Right.
your job, and then you say, you know what? We don't want to upset this person any more than he already is. We're gonna give him
Because everybody's
settle it at
afraid. They
15
when
million.
they kind of got the idea that he might win, everybody started shaking in their boots all of a sudden and walking stuff back.
But that is also too, it just shows you the cowardness and the failure of white men who are trying to convince us that they are the stewards of justice, are the steward of innovation, are the stewards of this. But you no, you just showed me why you're so afraid of every other group in the world, that you are really weak. ABC is weak. MSNBC is weak. All of you are weak. You let this man, who's not even smarter than a fifth grader, has the vocabulary of a third grader, who is a bully only because you allowed him to be a bully. Because you act like well, you don't act like you're afraid of him. You are afraid of him for the power that he has
Well,
because
look at
of
the
rich
time.
people.
Look what he did to Kathy Griffith's career. Do you remember when she did that beheading simulation of him? They raked that woman over the coals. I'm like, it's
But
satire.
who helped break her over? He didn't do anything. It was the media who did it.
Hmm.
They
Yep.
they championed behind him, just like with this guy now that shot
Mangione. Yeah.
yeah, him. He's a terrorist now. We have had people go in and shoot up black churches. How hard did we have to fight to make that a terrorist movement? This
Hmm.
guy shot one person and he's an automatic. It's the media that helps create
Those
the narrative.
narratives.
And it's
Yeah.
the media that helped Trump get where he is, to make people fearful of him, to make him seem like he's a bigger boss than he actually is. The media helped him do all of that. And they have been
Hmm.
a complete failure. But it's also too, it's white supremacy at its best. And who controls the media? White men. So it's the same thing. So yeah, for 22, that's my list.
That was
What
it.
made me
That
what made me happy in 2024?
Yeah. What made you now we doing the Rhode Island list, or we doing just what made you happy in general in 2024?
It can be I had it as just general, but definitely it can be, it could be Rhode Island. There's a lot.
You gave me this list, ma'am. Top 5 Rhode Island things we like. That was that you sent that to me.
I do have a list. Let me see. I think I do.
So
I have so many go ahead.
okay, so do you want do you want to do the broad, like, overarching, like, what made us happy in 2025
Yes.
24?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Um For me, I think it's coming into my own. And I mentioned this in prior podcasts, like just coming into my own and prioritizing myself, but also just prioritizing the things that are important to me. I'm going to be leaving a lot of stuff behind in 2024, not necessarily in a bad way. That includes people, that includes affiliations that I have for organizations. Some things just need to be left in 2024, and it's no shade on anybody else. It's my leveling up. So I'm just glad that I'm figuring things out in my
Hmm.
next iteration of myself. That's one. Two, I really love my coworkers. Like my coworkers have made my career experience these last 2.5 years extremely like beyond bearable. Like I've made some really good friends at work that I'm
I
grateful.
okay. Remember, Chris was teasing me about me saying I like my job.
Because most people don't.
I
Most people
know. They was
don't.
like,
And
Chris was like, really? You
a
like your
lot of
job?
people are like warn you against having friendships in the workplace.
Yeah.
I've always had workplace friendships and
Hmm.
usually they work in my favor.
Yeah.
Because I try to get with people I think, not necessarily like-minded, but people that I think are genuine. And
Hmm.
I found that in this workplace. So I definitely have some really great colleagues. I actually have some really good supervisors too,
Hmm.
um, which also helps with things. So that's been good. Three, my son graduated from college this year. Ooh, it was a
Hmm.
long road, Lord Jesus, but we got him there. So that's
Hmm.
two down for college graduates and one more to go. So
Hmm.
that other one will be on my list next year.
Hmm.
But Noah graduated. For those who know my son, he's on the autism spectrum. So this is even that much more sweeter because a lot of people counted him out a long time ago, but he never counted himself out. We as his
Hmm.
parents never counted him out. And he's just leveling up from here. He's doing really amazing things post graduation. But the fact that he earned his college degree was something that a lot of people probably didn't anticipate for him.
And shout out
So,
CCRI.
yes, big up
Please shout
CCRI.
out CCRI because I think a lot of people discount it because it is just a two. It is just an excellent
It's a
starter.
great school.
It is absolutely a great school. I took classes there.
Yep, Community
Hmm.
College of Rhode Island. Noah got his degree in communication and media. So he got a really good basis there. He was hosted the radio station at the school, and
Hmm.
he's doing really well and he's thriving. So
Has a
what else?
great job.
Yeah,
He's doing great.
he's living his best life. No kids, no major responsibilities yet. So
Mhm.
he's doing good and a college grad to boot. What else made me happy this year? Gee whiz. This podcast. We started this podcast this year and it has made me very happy. Like we came out the gate hot, got an award and everything. Like
Mhm.
first quarter, well, second quarter of the year, like that was really a huge accomplishment. So being able to actually launch this, keep it going, be consistent, have positive reinforcement from, third parties and from our listeners.
Mhm.
That's been really wonderful. What else made me happy this year? Me, I'm trying to think what else made me really happy. Because I think a lot of things made me happy. Being able to do some travel, getting over to Britain, that was really wonderful. And where else did I go this year? I went to Mexico. Like getting to do my regular traveling, like getting out of the
Mhm.
US for a spell has always made me very happy. That's it. That's my top five.
Okay. So mine pretty similar, but one of my first one was Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by her presence, her speaking, her rallies, the things that she wanted to accomplish and do for America. She had a great vision. And so, along with her, I have to give it to the 90% of Black women who
92,
what did I say? 90?
90,
I said, yeah,
92.
92%, definitely. 92% of Black women who at the end of the day, we always show up for each other. And that has always even when you think that, oh my God, the most devastating or the most harsh things could happen, I'm thinking about not just on a national scale with, politics, but on a personal level, you know, Black women, we show up for each other. And I'm quite sure all women do, but considering that we are, when you turn on the internet or anything, there's just so much hate for us. It's just outrageous. But at the end of the day, I would not choose to be any other woman but a Black woman.
Me neither.
And the love that we showed each other, the care that we show each other when we need it the most, top tier. So
Yes.
very happy about that, and then just very happy to be a part of that group, to be a part of this group. Another thing that made me happy was the podcast and the many guests that we had on here. I I mean, I'm trying to think of like my top three. I gotta go with Rudy today, only because I was just gonna say one of my things that made me happy was seeing A Christmas Carol just this afternoon. It
Yeah.
was absolutely fabulous, and the fact that I don't know who played Ebenezer Scrooge, it was a woman. I
Yes.
didn't get her name, but when I say this woman was absolutely phenomenal, I mean she owned that stage and it was absolutely an excellent presentation. So Rudy definitely made me happy. And just seeing him shine. It's like,
Yeah.
and we have to appreciate theater and things that are close to us. I mean, there are still people who say there's nothing to do in Rhode Island. Just like the people who live in Boston say there's nothing to do in Boston, or there's
Yeah.
nothing for, us as Black people. There's so much. So I enjoyed the theater here this year. So that made me happy. That's two. Was that two or three? It was
I
two.
think that's three because you had podcast, Kamala, and the Black women, and then you had the Rhode Island
Well, I
artsy.
put Kamala and Black women together
That's one, right?
as
And
one,
then
and then the podcast, and then I went with just the theater, and I touched on Rudy, but there was a couple of other guests that we had, like Nicole with the
yeah,
NAACP. There was uh, uh who, oh my god, always when I'm just stuck, the artist, Sydney, the writer, who's still
yes,
doing like great things, and he's gonna be back on the podcast, next year. Very grateful to that. The I should put this is number one, my book club girls. Our book
yay,
club girls. And our next episode, we are having the book club on, and we're all going to talk about, like, what we're going to do to have a good 2025, because we don't know how things are going to roll. So, but and then, talk about books and talk about, where we're going and how we maintain a level of, like, spirituality and happiness, or, joy, how we keep that. So that'll
yeah,
be next episode. So, and then my last one would be, hmm, my grandchildren. They make me very, very happy.
yeah.
I love them.
They make me happy too. Definitely, like I'm not as familiar with the younger ones. Like I'm
Autumn.
Autumn is
Mm-hmm.
she's so
The bully.
cute. I love her.
Bully.
But Darius, that's my dude.
Yeah, he helped us out yesterday at Tracy's event, and I'm just trying to get him, to experience more things, and see more people, and learn how to talk to people without, like, teenagers. They grunt a little. Sometimes they don't show the proper level of respect. Like, I don't expect all the time for it to be yes, ma'am, but it got to be yes. Can't be
Yeah,
huh. Can't be huh. And it can't be
yeah,
what. It definitely can't be what. But
exactly.
give me a yes. But he's learning. But those two, that they make me happy.
Yeah.
My boobies. So that was it for my list. You anything else?
Well, so I thought we were gonna do Rhode Island things, so I'm gonna quickly run through my Rhode
Well, I kind of
Island
mixed
things.
mine in there. My bag. So go ahead and give me
That's
your Rhode
okay.
Island
That's
list.
okay because we don't gotta have the same list.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. So for me, for Rhode Island, it was winning the Motif Award this year, which I lightly touched on. Seeing Miss Pat at Comedy Connection, she freaking slayed it. I love comedy, but I especially love my female comics who show up and keep doing the damn thing. And she's becoming a mogul in her own right.
Mm-hmm.
She's got two television shows on BET Plus, the Miss Pat show, and she has the Miss Pat Judge show that she does.
Didn't we
And
see
she's
somebody that was on her show in London?
Yes. Yes, we saw the man who plays her husband Terry on the
Okay.
show,
Mm-hmm.
Jay Bernard. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Jay Bernard. I forgot your last name, but we did meet him when we were out in London. Super nice man. He has roots in Boston. I feel like everybody has some tie to Boston. Like a lot of people that, not everybody, but a lot of people find their way into Boston at some point. He did through college and we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about Wally's and stuff. I was like, okay, he
Oh.
really was here. Yeah, he definitely
Mhm.
was. So that was
And
cool.
he
So
was here
Miss
back in
Pat,
the day because Wally's is closed,
yeah.
right? Okay.
No, I think Wally's is still hanging in there, but he's our age. So he
Okay.
definitely, it was probably, a while back. Then seeing Notes from the Field, that was another Rhode Island
That,
highlight for me at
that was
Mixed
fat.
Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Mixed Magic Theater itself, and then it's also great actors like Rudy and the rest of the cast. So we
Mm-hmm.
talk about Rudy Cabrera a lot on this show. That ties in with the art scene and creative scene around Rhode Island. I feel like it's so robust, has so much to offer. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes me happy about Rhode Island. And then the food scene, it just keeps evolving. Every time I look around, there's a new great restaurant opening, there's a new great dining experience or cultural experience. So that was my top Rhode Island things. And then I have a list of top 5 podcasts.
Oh, okay. I do have my top 5 podcasts. Go ahead.
So for me, I'm taking us out of it because
Yeah, I
clearly
took
I'm
I
not
saw.
there. Scam Goddess. I've mentioned it multiple times on the
Mhm.
show. To anyone who will listen, it's hosted by Lacey Mosley, who's actually on the new iCarly, but she's an actress. She's been in other things. Really phenomenal. So Scam Goddess, it's all about scams and things that happen to people, whether they're involved in scams. It's a satirical way of kind of bringing to light a lot of information that is useful because scams are so pervasive in our culture. And she just does a great job of it from the lens of a Black woman who's unapologetically Black and speaks as a Black woman and speaks to other people as a Black person. She's just top tier for me. And that was when I did my Spotify Wrapped, that was my number one listen
Oh,
podcast.
really? Okay.
Then there's The Moth, which I love storytelling. To me, storytelling has its roots in Africa, in the griot. That's how I associate storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's oral history, and the Moth kind of ties into that. And it's people all over the world. But what I love about them is that when they go collect storytelling, they go to Africa, they go to Asia, they go to North America. They go all around the world. They don't just focus on American stories, even though it started in the American South. So I appreciate them for having representation. Love the Moth. Family Secrets, another really great podcast.
Yeah, you told me about that one, and I listened to it for a while, but it was good. I need to probably go back to it.
So it started off to me really strong. I feel like here lately it's
Mm-hmm.
getting a little bit formulaic
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually tied to someone who has a book coming out or a book out. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I love that. I kind
Okay.
of like how it was a little grittier at the beginning and there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't always like a commercial tie-in
Mm-hmm.
to a book or some kind of other. It's getting a little bit like a commercial to me now, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't love. It's still a great series,
Yeah.
but Family Secrets by Danny Shapiro, and that was inspired by her learning that her father is not her biological father. And it's just about people who come on and talk about secrets that their families tried to bury, but you can't always keep a secret. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times these secrets come out and it's a first person account of how that secret affected the person. Love that. And then please delete this. I really enjoy that podcast. It's a local podcast with our friends Jen, Bim, and Darren. And what I like about it is it's a great escape for me
Mm-hmm.
because in I don't know if this is
They're
their
very.
intention, but because I'm self-diagnosed ADD, I don't know if I really have ADD, but
Uh-huh.
sometimes I just have a hard time concentrating. What I love about their podcast is they switch topics like that, and it feels natural. It feels normal. They
Mm-hmm.
might be talking about politics one minute, the next minute they're talking about food, the next minute they're talking about something in the news. It's like multiple topics, and a lot of it is just off the cuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy it. And I, like I said, I'll be in the supermarket just cackling to myself, listening to "Please Delete This" in my earbuds, and I'm like, let me get out the store before someone has me committed, because I really look insane
They are
listening
funny.
to
They are very
that.
funny. But it's like everyday conversation, but
Yeah.
and then they all have their own little like take on everything. And then it's their friendship that I
Yeah.
absolutely love, that they've been friends like forever and they're so ingrained in each other's like lives, but you feel the love between them. I love it.
Mhm. And it's that immigrant experience too
Hmm.
that I think affects their, what they talk about, even though they're not always talking about their experience as
Hmm.
their parents coming from other countries. It informs their points of view and
Hmm.
adds flavor to the podcast, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I like them too. They did not make my list, but I just started really like listening to them
Yeah.
like, every day. But so
That's okay. They made my list. They
yeah.
got the shout out. Shout out to
And I
y'all.
and I and I do like him, and I will definitely continue listening. But so from my Spotify, and I don't know how much further I'm going to go with my list because I'm kind of like changing it up. The first one, which I'm not changing up, is the new abnormal. It's a political. It's funny too, but I don't know if I can like. I haven't listened to it since the election, taking a break. So it's the new abnormal, the Bulwark Report, which is basically it started off as a conservative news show with Charlie Sykes, who I do. I like Charlie Sykes. And if you're a reasonable and humane Republican, I can rock with you. But that's not
Hmm.
who the Republican Party is anymore. And Charlie Sykes is not in that group either. And Michael Steele, who is a black Republican, still, that's my boo. I will fight for him. But anyway, so the new abnormal, the Bulwark Report, crime junkie. I
Mm.
love some crime junkie. And I don't think I'm ever gonna give up that show, only because 'cause remember I said I was kind of like taking it back. W- When they talk about these crimes that have happened, I feel they give the proper amount of respect
Hmm.
to the story. It's not giggles, and it's not like, trying to make it hyped or anything. They're just telling you the facts. And then I feel like they give proper respect for it. So I can,
Yeah.
totally respect them. But then also My Aunties Could Never is a British podcast, which I absolutely love. And I was trying so hard for us to attend their event during while we were there in London, but it just didn't coincide because we were doing our thing and they had a event. So it was those, is it that five?
Yeah.
That
I think
five?
so. Yeah.
Yep, that was. I think the Sisters Who Kill was on there, but I'm not listening to that.
I just started listening to that one, and only because I only listened to two of them. It's
Mhm.
cool, but I think maybe after listening to too many of them, I could probably get a little
It's
with
yeah,
it. Yeah, because there are some
they're
honorable mentions
very
on my
unserious about the crimes. I
desk,
think. I mean, like it's.
and because they involve Black women, it
Hmm.
kind of, I think, hits a sore spot. I'm just being honest. Like, if it probably wasn't about Black women, I probably could digest more of it.
Hmm. Hmm. It didn't. And I liked them in the very beginning, but I thought they. I don't know. I just feel like with these crime podcasts, I know a lot that there's a hot thing. So you have to get in where you fit in, and you have to bring a certain level of something to it that's going to make people listen. But they are murders, and they are serious murders, and
Yeah.
sometimes they involve children. And then
Yeah.
your commentary has to be a level of respect. And that's why I feel like a lot that I'm not listening to them as much as I was before. I'm trying to
Mhm.
find other content. So I think one of the things I want to change to is the scam goddess. You know, hearing about people getting scammed is a lot different than hearing from somebody getting murdered every single day. That's
So
a lot.
what you might like too, and this is another podcast. It didn't crack my top 5 just because I listened to these other ones more, but this is in my top 10. Is This Actually Happened?
I s-
Bomb
I
podcast.
used to, yeah, I actually used to listen to that one, so I probably would go back to it.
That one is
Um,
so good, and there's so many episodes. Like you can get a good chunk of binging and
yeah,
still not be through it. Like I still haven't listened to every episode of that, and I've been listening to it for several years now, so
and I
I have
did
a lot
start
of catching
listening
up
to
to do.
Moth Stories again because,
Love the
you
moth.
know, it's like I think again, probably after the election, it was like, how much negativity do I want going in my head?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, let me try and find something a little bit different, more, more heartfelt, something that's a little bit more inspiring. So I started listening to that again. And so, that's better. I'm still probably going to stick with, like I said, Oh, another one that I started watching a lot. I mean, listening to Fatal Attraction.
Mm.
And there's a little girl on Instagram. Her mother does these like Fatal Attraction scenes, and she's like 5 or 6, and it's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
It's hilarious. Again, disrespectful because people did die, but that was in. So I don't think I'm gonna stop listening to that.
But one thing is dark humor, and another
Mhm.
thing is just being weird when you deliver
Yeah,
information.
and
So
it's all silent, and it's just like the voiceover because when you listen to Fatal Attraction, they always have like that voiceover, and it just always
yeah,
sounds like so dramatic. She was so happy until it was crazy. But
yeah,
yeah, I do listen to that one, but I'm trying to listen to like more positive things.
yeah.
2025 will be a little bit more positive.
Another one that I like too is Carefully Reckless with Just Hilarious. So she
Hmm.
does a lot of
Wait, is she
listener letters.
pregnant?
She had her baby. She had a baby girl.
Because
So
I
she has
just saw like
a
a
boy and a
clip
girl now.
of her. She was doing a clip, so I didn't even know she was. Who's the baby daddy? What? Tell me the
So
news.
all I know is his name is Chris. And the only reason I know his name is Chris is because she actually allegedly dated Chris Brown. And this guy's name is also Chris. So that's the only reason I even remember
She
what
dated
her.
Chris Brown, like Rihanna, Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it wasn't great. He was not, as we suspected, he's not that great of a person. So
He
that
does.
didn't
She does
go well.
not look like his type at
Not at all.
all.
Not
Like,
at
were
all.
they dating, or did she think they were dating?
Listen, I you'd have to. I don't know. She
Yeah.
said that they had a thing, but he strikes me as the type of man who wants to be seen with one type of woman publicly, but has no type really in reality.
Really? He seems like he
Hmm.
has a type.
I know what he likes to be photographed with. Let's put it like that because I never saw the two of them photographed together.
Mm,
But supposedly he gave her jewelry, and there was a. Anyway, she's not with Chris Brown. She's with another
another
Chris who she
Chris
seems
Brown.
happy with.
Hmm.
I really liked her with Country Wayne. I don't She kind of explained a little bit why their relationship didn't work out. I think he may have had an issue with her as a woman, as a comic, you know, egos. He also has
But
a
he
bunch of kids.
he
Like,
also made it sound like it wasn't as deep for him as it was for her. That's why I asked the question about Chris
possibly.
Brown. Like, was she in a relationship and he was just like,
She seems like such a level-headed woman, and when I tell you the advice, and this is sometimes what happens is you give amazing advice, but you don't know how to take your own. She gives phenomenal relationship advice, in my
mm-hmm,
opinion.
mm-hmm,
When these listener letters and voice notes come over to her, she says exactly to the letter the things that I would say to people. That's
mm-hmm,
why I think she's great because I'm like, girl, you sound just like me. That's what I would have
mm-hmm,
said. But I don't know how she is in her own private relationships. I
mm-hmm.
love that she's working on co-parenting with her her son's father, Rome. I hope things work
She
out with
always,
her.
yeah. I always thought
her
that they might even get back together because
I
I
don't
thought
think
that
they
they
need to
were
get.
so. No, I'm
I don't
sorry.
think
This was a
so.
long time ago. So because I
Yeah.
don't follow her at all. This was like years ago when I listened. But whenever you see people like manage to be able to be so respectful, and they seem to have like a good relationship. So I thought that they might get back together. And then next thing I know, she was the country Wayne thing, and they were together and not together in like 2 seconds. So.
And this new generation, they will wipe their Instagram so clean, and that's how you know when the breakup happened. Because you go on their Instagram and all them pictures that they were booed up are gone.
Mhm.
That's how you know when somebody broke up. You look on their Instagram now, but I honestly, and this is so true confession, I think Country Wayne is so cute. I think he's a good looking man.
He's not bad looking at all. I think he's.
He's a
I think
little
he's.
thin. He's a little thin for my taste, but I think he's attractive.
I think what makes him more attractive is he is funny because the way those eyes bulge out of his head. I don't know if I want that in my life, but he is cute.
He's so cute to me. I saw him do live stand up and he just has a swag to him. I kind of get why he has like 10 kids.
10?
He has a lot of kids. It's like it's the numbers up there. It's pretty high.
I don't know. I don't like that. I just don't like people.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it either. But
I just want people to make children that they can live in the house with. I know that's
as
very old
as
school.
one of 8 of my father's children and having a daddy who just has that it factor or had it in the 70s, alas I understand.
I mean, yeah, so yeah, that's a lot of kids. It's a lot of money going to different households.
And yeah,
But
but do you?
so what's the name of her show? Because I haven't listened to her, and it
Carefully Reckless.
so it's not just it used to be
It
just
used to be
hilarious.
just with the mess, and she did a rebranding, and now it's so her name is Just Hilarious. She had a show called Just with the Mess, but now that she's trying to lift her brand up and elevate, it's now Carefully Reckless because she's still honest and raw with the advice, but she's careful with the advice that she gives people because she understands that it resonates and it
Mm,
impacts people's life. Because a lot of times these questions involve relationships,
mm,
children, um, people's trajectories in life. So
mhm,
she's very good, and she often has her friend and her sister tend to be her co-host like interchangeably,
mhm.
and she did just have a baby girl, so she has a boy and she has a
Oh,
girl, and
okay.
yeah, happy for Jess.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, is this like a skit? Or is she really pregnant? But okay, good for
Yeah,
congratulations to her.
yeah.
So, all right, was that the end of the list?
I don't.
I
I mean,
think
I guess
so.
we could go on, but we've been on here for 90 minutes, so I don't know.
I think that was the end of the list.
I think
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah. So it has been a fascinating year. And we'll talk next week about like what we expect from next year, how I liked how you said how you were, cleaning house for yourself. I know I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't know. I'm thinking. Right now I'm in the middle of like purging my house.
Yeah, for me, it's
Getting
literal and
rid of
figurative. Yeah,
stuff because
yeah.
it's just like you have so much paper, you have just so much junk. And yeah, I just kind of want to start off 2025 at least clean mentally and my surroundings. And
Hmm.
I think I've said it, to you and maybe several other people. I am staying in my cocoon or my bubble with my
Hmm.
group of friends and no new I'm not gonna say no new friends because somebody might blow me away, but basically it's my group, my small group of
Yeah.
people, because we don't know what the next couple of years, and if the price of eggs is gonna hit $15, who knows, but it doesn't matter.
Protect your peace and go vegan
Like
if you need
my
to.
pe well, I've already started. Like, it's amazing that I haven't eaten as much sweets as I had. Like, my little snack today was like some beets. That is so unlike me, but we'll talk about that next week. So until then, have a great
Until
week.
then, Y'all know where to find us on Instagram and Facebook for social media, on TikTok while it lasts at Little State Big Voices. You can also watch us in full episodes on YouTube as well as Spotify and listen wherever you listen to podcasts.
And have a safe New Year's Eve. Be safe
Yes.
and go into 2025 with intention. So until
Yep.
next time.
Use Uber, use Lyft, and we'll see you
Mhm.
on the other side.
All right. Hey guys. So I'm back because I don't know what happened with the music that I could hear, but nobody else could hear. So I had to jump back on here at the end of this to say what my 5 songs of the year were. And honestly, I can't even pronounce some of them. But anyway, the first one was Jiggy Woogie by Baby Laud and D Legend. The second one was Tashwala Bam featuring SNE. So that is by Tito M and Yup, Yuppe. I love it. I don't know. Wham by ASAP Ferg. That's an old one, but this is what I've been listening to. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, and The Standard by WEANI. So that was my top. Oh, I think I did more than five. I'm messing up today. I hope you guys have a good new year. Good night. Peace out.